I'm happy with everything, my work, my family, the things I do, and so forth and so on. And that's what we all want, isn't it? Really, we all want to be fulfilled. So fulfillment is an encapsulation of satisfaction and happiness and so forth and so on. Then we all want it. And is derived from living a life that aligns with your core values and aspirations. Because if you're not achieving your aspirations, you are frustrated. So fulfillment will actually include meeting your aspirations. Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. I've done it. I am very happy. I'm satisfied. So that is what personal fulfillment is about. And we all want that. But the important point I want to start with is that it's an inside thing. It's an inside job. A heart, that is fulfilled, happy, is an inside thing. And at the heart of the whole process of fulfillment lies one truth, one simple truth. And it is that personal fulfillment is not dependent, it is not determined by external circumstances, but determined by our internal perspective and daily habits. What we do, the way we think, the way we do things actually determine whether we are fulfilled or not. And we know what fulfillment is about. So there is a kind of life that I wish to have. There's a kind of life that you wish to have. And it depends on the habits you cultivate, the choices you make every day, because together these have the power to bring you closer to fulfillment or push you away from being fulfilled, from achieving the desired life that you want. And if you don't have the desired life, then you are not fulfilled. You are frustrated. So fulfillment is simply coming to a place where you find peace with who you are, where you are, and how far you've come, while still looking forward to a better future. In other words, you are okay now, you are very happy, satisfied, and you also look forward to a better future. There's no reason why not. But remember that feeling fulfilled doesn't mean you've got a perfect life. No, nobody's got a perfect life. But you can still be fulfilled even in this life. And there are things you can do and there are things you should avoid in order to have this fulfilled life. So whether you want an unfulfilled life or truly living life depends, as I said, on your actions and habits and so on. And there's a big contrast between being fulfilled and not being fulfilled, being frustrated. There's a big difference. And the difference is actually determined by what? Daily habit. Daily habit. So feeling unfulfilled often stems from the habit we unknowingly incorporate into our lives. Unknowingly, carelessly, we incorporate certain things in our life that keep us from being fulfilled. And sometimes it's small things that we do day by day that can actually prevent us from reaching the potential that we set ourselves. And therefore, saying goodbye to these habits, if we can identify them and putting them away, will actually help us become fulfilled. And putting them away is not denying yourself, but actually opening the door for you to become fulfilled. In other words, you are choosing to cultivate those habits, to do those things that will actually make you fulfilled, whilst avoiding those things that will not make you fulfilled. So it's a choice, and everybody wants to be fulfilled. Therefore, you like to choose the things that will make you fulfilled rather than the other way around. And there are 10 actions that I want to share with you, and breaking those negative 10 actions can actually help you, even though they will not guarantee that you have a fulfilled life instantly. It is a first step towards actually achieving a fulfilled life if you avoid these negative actions. So that's what I want to share with you. What are the things that I should do or should not do in order to have a fulfilled life? And we've already determined and defined what a fulfilled life is. So let's crack out, shall we? 10 daily habits that might be holding you back from feeling fulfilled. Let's talk about them, let's identify them, and make sure that we actually get rid of them. First is mindless scrolling. We all get rid of it. We spend endless time scrolling through our social media, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Instagram, and so forth and so on. Facebook, we keep on spending endless time scrolling through this. If you start in the morning, you turn on your laptop or maybe phone, you may end up going through this. By the time you actually realize that you're wasting time, maybe you spend 2 hours going through useless stuff. This habit is not just time consuming. It can also lead to feelings of unfulfillment, because we often compare our lives to the curated ones we see on our screens. We see wonderful things. Sometimes maybe they pretend, but we think, oh, how can they have such a wonderful life and I'm not having? And then that comparison starts actually making you frustrated. Research has indicated clearly that excessive time spent on social media can actually lead to anxiety and depression. Research. So it's not make-up story. No, scrolling is a habit that gives us temporary pleasure, but leaves us feeling empty in the long run. So that's something we need to avoid. The time you and I spend scrolling is time we could actually be using to live a more fulfilled life. So we have to decide to say today, to say goodbye to mindless. Sometimes you scroll, it's important. I use Copilot and so on, sometimes to write speeches and so on. Yeah, I'm not saying we should get rid of, but mindless scrolling is something that we need to get rid of. It's not easy, but that's something worth the effort, because you will, once you get it, realize that you are actually frustrating yourself, spending so much time on this. So instead of mindlessly scrolling, dedicate specific times for social media and schedule it. In other words, you actually discipline yourself. And self-discipline is crucial if you're going to achieve anything in life and also become fulfilled. So you can use the rest of the time to engage in activities that bring fulfillment, like reading a book, learning a new skill, or been spending quality time with loved ones. Now it's become such a family-destroying thing. You go to a home, mommy is on laptop or phone, daddy is on Facebook, children are on things, they don't even talk. Hours, they all are on laptops and this thing, phones and so on, breaking families. They hardly find time to talk. It's a mindless thing that should be stopped. Second point, neglecting self-care. We care very much about our cars, isn't it? I need to go and do the MOT. I need to go and do the test. I need to do this and so on. The car is getting dirty. Let me take it to the, wash place to wash it and so on. But a lot of the time, we don't take similar care of our bodies. We assume that our bodies will continue to work. And we neglect self-care, especially men. Hardly do you want to go and see the doctor until you have collapsed. We don't even make a point that every year I go do PSA. And for those of us who are Black people, 1 in every 4 will get prostate cancer. And once you turn 50, you should be checking every year for PSA. But it doesn't even cross our mind. By the time we actually spend cleaning our car, making it look so good, we don't spend the same time on our bodies. So neglecting self-care is a major contributor to feelings of unfulfillment. It is a danger for a person who is always on the go. You work long hours. Every time there's something to do. Every time there's something to do. Even when you get a letter from a doctor that you come do checkup, you're too busy. You sometimes even skip meals, and yet meals are important. Breakfast is the most important meal. You need to have it because it set you up for the day to be productive. But you are too busy. A friend of mine that I worked with in New Jersey, his wife will pack lunch for him. When he goes to work, he comes back with the lunch because he was so busy, he didn't even eat the lunch. Skip exercise, push ourselves to the brink until we are burning out. We may think that we are doing this in order to achieve some good results, but pushing yourself to doesn't make you more productive. You can spend a lot of hours in the office. There are some people, they go there very early, they come late, and they are always there in the office, seem to be working, and yet they don't produce much. They're not very productive. I tend to call it a laborious doing of nothing. You go round and round several hours, but the output is very little. So in reality, you may be running yourself into the ground. You end up feeling drained, unhappy, and unfulfilled. In the end, no matter how much you accomplish, it will never make you fulfilled because you're running around all the time. So take care of yourself, and taking care of yourself should be non-negotiable. Make time for regular meals, exercise, adequate sleep, and so forth and so on. We should learn to say no if need be and prioritize relaxation and downtime. And the shift in habit can make all the difference. Feeling healthier, happier, and more fulfilled in your life. By caring for yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally, you'll be able to bring your best self to every aspect of your life, including your job. So if you are feeling unfulfilled, take a look at your self-care. Maybe you're actually ignoring your self-care. Very, very crucial. A healthy brain can only exist in a healthy body. So if your body is not working well, chances are your brain will not work well, and the job you're trying to impress everybody with will not be well done. Living in the future. There is a saying that goes, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, because somebody says tomorrow never comes. Today is a gift. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. It's a gift, present. Today is a present given to you by God. And this quote encapsulates the importance of living in the moment and at the moment. Researchers have pointed out that people who live in the present tend to be happier and more fulfilled. When we focus too much on the future, planning, worrying, visioning, anticipating, we often miss out on the joy and beauty of the present moment. Interesting stuff, isn't it? And very true too. You always think about tomorrow. Hey, what am I going to do? So even the joy, maybe there is some spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend sitting by you that you can spend time, but your mind is on tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So you miss out on what you can enjoy today. Today is a present. Tomorrow is a mystery. Yesterday is gone, it's history. Live today. And if you live in the future, you will not be fulfilled. Of course, this doesn't mean that we shouldn't plan for the future. All right? We all know that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So planning is important. As I sit here, Sunday evening, in my porch in Accra, I know that tomorrow morning I have to go and see Honorable Kennedy Japan. From there, I have a meeting in Holiday Inn. Then I have a meeting with Luton Company where I'm chairman of the board. It's planned. But I'm not going to put all my mind on tomorrow so that I cannot even enjoy the session I'm having with you today. I should enjoy it. And I was looking forward to it. It's equally important to plan, but you have to enjoy the journey towards those goals. The journey towards the future should be enjoyable rather than focusing on the destination. The journey should also be interesting. 4, avoiding discomfort. It's a natural tendency for us to avoid anything that makes us feel uncomfortable. It's natural. All right? Osibisa has a song. When you were a baby, your mother told you not to play with fire because fire will burn you. Yes, we know that. But this habit of being too careful can also keep us from feeling fulfilled. Because sometimes we need to step out of comfort zone in order to grow or to achieve some great things. If you are very careful, you are holding everything tight to your chest. You don't explore. You have sometimes to make mistakes and learn from them. There is this beauty products company called L'Oreal. L'Oreal is the biggest beauty products company in the world and is the most international. And the first non-British, non-French managing director, CEO, is a guy called Lindsay Owens-Jones. And he said that in that company, you have a right to make a mistake. You have a right to make a mistake because they know that you can actually learn as much from the mistakes as from the successes. And he, when he was growing up in the company, made mistakes. He was not fired. Because then you can explore. There's another company called 3M. And 3M, you can actually, in quote, steal 10 to 15% of the project budget. If you've been given a budget to do a project, you can actually steal 10 to 15% of it to explore something of your own personal interest. And through that, they've got new product, from people who took a risk, took some of the money to explore something the company had not even thought about. Mark Zuckerberg, we all know him, said it. The biggest risk in life is not to take any risk. Living in comfort zone. All the great things of the world have come about because people decided to think out of the box. Somebody said, why is it that every time we want to put information into a computer, we have to use a keyboard? Why? Why is keyboard the only thing? And that question led to the creation of the mouse. Why is it that every time I want to listen to music stereo, I must be seated somewhere with two speakers, in front of me, sitting in home or someplace? Why can't I actually enjoy music when I am jogging? And that led to the development of the Walkman and later on the iPod. Stepping out of comfort zones is often where growth happens. It is where we learn new skills, gain new experiences, and discover a part of ourselves that we didn't know before. So avoiding discomfort, avoid staying in comfort. I don't like palaver. Nobody likes palaver, but sometimes you need to delve out in order to actually achieve greatness. Because avoiding discomfort means avoiding challenges. And without challenges, there's no room for growth or improvement. And the biggest room in the world, I always say, is the room for improvement. So if you are feeling unfulfilled, perhaps you bottle yourself up in your comfort zone. You are not doing exciting things and taking risks and so forth and so on. 5, constant negativity. There are some people, everything is negative. They don't have any positive outlook on anything. I invited a friend of mine for lunch. Now, my favorite hotel here, buffet lunch, 12 o'clock. 9, a big cloud formed over Accra. He called me, PK, I think there's going to be a storm. Look at the cloud. Maybe we cannot have the lunch. I said, if you will not come, whether there's a storm or not, I'm going to drive and go there. 1 hour later, the cloud cleared. He called me, the cloud has cleared. Everything negative. Go and pay money in the bank for me. It's urgent. Monday morning, there'll be too many people there. It will take a long time. He went there, there were only 5 people. Within 2 minutes, he had done it. It's negative. The prediction is always negative. And there are some people like that. We all have bad days, no doubt. But if you find yourself constantly dwelling on the negative aspects of your life, it might be time to reconsider the habit. Because negativity can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough and that you will never achieve your dreams, you will start to believe it. And eventually, it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy. This can lead to a vicious cycle of negativity, unfulfillment, and it goes on, and it will drive you down and destroy you. Constant negativity. Instead, try to cultivate a habit of positive thinking. And of course, this doesn't mean that you have to ignore bad things. Bad things happen in life. Bad things happen to everybody. But rather, you choose to focus on the good things that come into your life. Deal with the bad things fine, but don't focus on them. And don't always think that the bad things are the only things that will happen. Good things are also around the corner. And if you open your eyes, you'll see them, rather than keep the eyes on the bad. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. And in fact, we teach a lot of senior leaders in companies, executives, about project management and change management in companies when they're doing all sorts of new things and new projects. We teach them. I teach people all over the world. And one thing that I tell them is that if you are doing any change project that lasts for more than a year, then you need to create timelines where you can celebrate every little success you achieve. 3-year project. You set the deadlines. First year, we're going to do this. Second year, we're going to do this. Third year, then we finish. You excite your team members and they all get on board. Human nature. The excitement within the first 6 months would have waned. People say, this thing too is taking a long time, I'm tired. So what do you do to actually re-energize them? You celebrate every little win that you get. And I always use the case of a guy who used to be a project leader and one of the project divisions of Xerox in Palo Alto, California, Fred Henderson. You know, he had a project to develop a new photostatic photocopier for Xerox, 3-year project. And he knew that even though his team, all of them were excited at the beginning, 3 years, a long time. By the first year, the enthusiasm and all the interest will be gone. So he set timelines. At the end of the first year, you know, the extent of the project that he has set needed to be done was achieved. So what he did was actually organize a party to celebrate that. And by so doing, re-energize the team to go ahead. So celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. They will encourage you to carry on. Practice gratitude for what you have. Whatever little you have, be grateful in your heart. Surround yourself with positive influences and positive people. Remember, your thoughts have a huge impact on your emotions and your actions. Whatever you think, whatever you dream about, is likely to manifest. So by adopting a more positive mindset, you can significantly improve your life, your feelings, and your fulfillment and overall happiness. 6, ignoring your passions. Carve out some time in your schedule, even if it's just a few minutes each day, to do something you love. I work hard and I'm writing my book. It's very close and I read and read, then I break it and I start making calls. Or Sam, how are you? Says, I've just finished my breakfast. What did you eat? And we have a chat. I love parties because I travel all over the world. Every time I come back to Manchester, the first Saturday, I invite my friends, not great things, friends, get some drinks, get some chicken spare parts, put a spare parts in the oven, all cooked, put it in the middle of the room, everybody, music, till 3 a.m. It makes me relax and it re-energizes me. It helps me to recharge my batteries. Whether it's dancing, gardening, hiking, playing instruments, embrace your passions. It's part of your life and will help you fulfill rather than, glued to the job that you need to do all the time. Life is too short to spend it feeling unfulfilled. And I'll make a joke of it by saying life is too short to drink bad wine. By saying goodbye to the habit of ignoring your passions, you could open the door to a life filled with more joy, more purpose, and more fulfillment. 7, perfectionism. Do you aim to be a perfectionist? Are you one of those people who believe that whatever you do must be perfect? Do you try to do everything perfectly? Whether it is work, relationship, even hobbies, whatever you touch must be perfect. If that is what you believe, that's your mindset, then you have a problem. Because human beings are creatures who were not created to be perfect. We don't have the ability, only God can do everything perfectly. Sometimes can do things right and good and maybe perfect, but not everything. So if you couldn't do something flawlessly and you felt like you had failed, then it will start bringing you down. Sometimes you want to try to prove yourself to people that you're also good. Lady friend of mine in the Manchester Business School, the late 1980s when we were students. She came to do the MBA because she had tried medicine in America and she failed. So she needed to prove to dad and other people that she's also good. But there were other things that she could do. Not everybody is an academic. And she came to Manchester and worked very, very hard to pass. And when she finished the course, she thought she must get a job in the city to earn, literally hundreds of thousands of pounds. It didn't work, and she nearly collapsed. Meanwhile, her colleagues had taken jobs elsewhere. They were having a great life. They were not looking to hundreds of thousands of pounds. Most of them were on about 6,000, 7,000 pounds a month starting salary. They were very, very happy and fulfilled. Do you want to prove yourself to others all the time? Is that your mindset? Life is not competition. You are not competing with anybody. Live the life that you've been given. You'll be happy. Live it. When we were in Manchester Business School, when I finished and I joined the faculty, some of my colleagues, the only agenda on their mind was to become a professor in the shortest possible time. That meant writing papers, spending endless hours in the office and books and so forth and so on. My objective, I had 4 children, I needed money to look after them. So I went into more executive education to earn extra money. Once my children had grown and I looked after them, I could pursue professorship later. And I did later on. I didn't spend endless time writing, but now I'm writing books, virtually every year. So life is not about, trying to be perfect or trying to compare yourself to anything. Don't try to prove. The constant striving for perfection will leave you feeling drained and unfulfilled. Because once you are looking for perfection, then you fear making mistakes. And that fear of making mistakes will hold you back from taking any risk and trying new things. And Zuckerberg, once again, the largest risk is not taking risk. Learn to let go of perfection and embrace imperfection. Life is not about perfection. We are human beings. Some things we will do very well, other things we may not be able to do. When I was in sixth form, getting ready to go to university, I had to decide between medicine and engineering. I was very good. I was young then. I was very sharp, not like today. And everybody said, medical means medical school. And some people say engines, which is engineering. So I decided to go to Ghana Medical School. And the day I went there, they were going to do practicals. So they had 25 dead bodies on tables. I collapsed. So I realized that's not me. It's not everything that you can do. I'm squeamish. I cannot be a doctor. But by Jove, I became a very good engineer. Even then, after graduating, I realized that I was a very lazy engineer. I ended up leaving engineering and getting into management education. And when I got in, I realized that that was what I was made for. Wake me up 2 a.m. in the morning, put a group of executives in the classroom and ask me to teach them, and I'll do. One of the determinants of success in life is to be able to determine what you were made for. What is it that makes you tick? And there are things that will make you tick, and there are things that will not. So try to be perfect all around will make you frustrated. Learn to let go of perfection and embrace imperfection. You will start to see there are many opportunities for learning new things and for growing. Always saying yes. You think that always agreeing to requests or invitation will make you more liked, more involved, more fulfilled. You please people, but in reality, it often leads to the opposite. It leads to frustration. When we constantly say yes to everything, we can end up overextended and stressed. And that's no fulfillment. We might find ourselves in a situation we don't really want to be in, doing things that don't add value to our lives. But because we can never say no to people, we just carry on. The key is to learn when to say no and when to say yes. It is important to set boundaries and prioritize your own needs and wants. Of course, this doesn't mean becoming selfish or unkind to people. It means respecting your own time and energy. So next time you're tempted to agree to something to do or of obligation or fear of missing out, pause and ask yourself, is it really what I want? Is this thing really something I want to do? Is this thing something I want to say yes to, or I'd rather say no because I don't like it? You'll be surprised how empowering it can be to say no, and how much more fulfilling your life can become when you choose your commitments carefully. Overthinking, overanalyzing. Overthinking can be a major roadblock to feeling fulfilled. When we overanalyze every situation endlessly, every decision we take hours to take, you never actually get to do anything. You spend too much time on things. You can end up paralyzed by fear or indecision. People will leave you behind. Whilst you are still analyzing the situations, they're gone. IBM had that problem in the 1970s and 1980s. Big company, a lot of technically qualified people. In fact, in 1984, IBM had more PhDs per square foot than any company in the world. But they took too long. When IBM developed a wonderful mini computer in 1974 in their labs in New York, it took a long time for the managers to actually agree to bring it to the market. Some microsystem got wind of it and brought it to the market years before IBM, which actually started it, got to the market. IBM invented the PCs. But by 1996, Compaq had overtaken IBM to become the biggest PC manufacturer in the world. Overthink, overanalyzing, meetings. Some people quickly, they exceed and go. We might worry about making the wrong choice, disappointing others or not living up to expectations. Yes, so we are careful. And we need to be careful. But in L'Oreal, you consider the thing quickly, make good judgment, and you move. And if you make a mistake, you are not fired. You have a right to make a mistake. The constant state of worry and analysis can drain our energy and prevent us from taking action. Prevent us from moving forward. Just sitting on it, following the meeting on it, no action, IBM. Some macro system picked it up, mini computer, market, they're making it. No one, ladies and gentlemen, no one has all the answers. Mistakes and missteps are part of life and often lead to valuable lessons and, in fact, new discoveries also. Analyzing incessantly doesn't lead to any good results. In a world that changes very fast, sometimes you need to take decisions at the spur of the moment. I used to be the lead management development consultant for Merchant Bank, not Universal Merchant Bank. Before it was Merchant Bank that was acquired and changed the name. For 4 years, I was the lead management development consultant. I come from Manchester and design courses and take the senior directors to some place and then do training and so forth and so on. And the manager at that time, Blaise Mankwa, empowered every head of a unit to be the CEO of the unit. And that if there was need to take a decision urgently, they should go ahead and do it. So you find one morning, an investor calls the head of investment. Hey, good morning. My name is P.K. Richardson. Yes, Mr. Richardson, what can I do for you? Well, I've got $1 million to invest in your bank. How much interest are you going to give to me? Well, according to our books, it's 6%. Well, 6% is no good. I want 7%. Will you give me or not? Because when I put the phone down, I'm calling your competitors. They may be happy to give me 7%. At the spur of that moment on the phone, where is the time to get a committee to decide whether you should give this prospective investor 7%? Where's the time? In fact, the MD is even in Europe. You cannot even dash to his office and say, should I give this prospective $1 million investor 7%? Because our book says 6. The head of investment had to take a decision on the spot. Say, hold on a minute, took his pen, did a little arithmetic, and realized that even if he gave him 7%, he will still make money. He will still make a return on that $1 million. Say, I'll give you 7%. When the managing director came back, what do you think he said to the head of investment? Well done, son. You've done well. Because this 1 million, we will pay 7%, but it will still make money for the bank. Mistakes and missteps are part of life. And if you make them, that's not the end of life. But don't sit thinking about something endlessly. Something that you should decide should happen tomorrow. You are taking eternity to decide whether you do it or not. Instead of getting stuck in the cycle of overthinking, try to adopt a mindset of learning and growth. Make decisions based on the best information you have at that time. So this head of investment, within 1 minute, was able to calculate that even that 7% for the investor will still, enable the bank to make some money on the 1 million. Take the decision on the best information you have, and then go with it. And realize that whatever happens, you have the ability to learn and grow from whatever you did, even if it's a mistake. By letting go of overthinking, you free up mental space for more fulfilling thoughts and activities. You also empower yourself to take action, which is a key to creating a more fulfilling life. Last point, forgetting to live in the present. The present moment is all we truly have. While it is important to learn from the past or plan for the future, constant dwelling on what was or what is going to come can rob us of the joy now. Bullet 3.3, I think, is related to this. Because if we think about tomorrow too much, we miss the sunset because we are too busy planning for next day. We miss to share the laughter because we are dwelling too much on past mistakes. We miss to express love because we are too worried about the future. We should not forget to live in the present. Because the past, the future worry all contribute to a life that is not fulfilled. You must be able to live now. Therefore, make a conscious effort to live in the present. Savor the cup of coffee. Listen, really listen to your loved ones when they talk, rather than your mind is half there and half somewhere. You must publish a book. You must do this. The Bible says, writing books and all these things, they will come to pass. What is important, it says in the last chapter of Ecclesiastes, it says, fear God and obey his commandments, for this is the whole purpose of man. It's not about this and writing and so forth and so on. They'll come to pass. Take a walk. Feel the breeze on your skin. Sit at the beach. Watch the sea roll by. These moments are all precious and irreplaceable. Living in the present is more than a habit. It's a lifestyle. A choice that can lead to a deeper sense of fulfillment and joy every day of your life. We said that you should plan, no doubt. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But a life always about tomorrow or worry about the past is a life that is not fulfilled. It's a life of misery. So, to close, the takeaways. Personal fulfillment is determined by our internal perspective and daily habits. Don't blame it on anybody else. The habits we cultivate, the choices we make every day, all have the power to either bring us closer to the good life we want or push us further away from the good life we wish to have. And the 10 habits that we have discussed, even though will not guarantee an instant fulfilling life, they are certainly a step in the right direction. Remember, feeling fulfilled doesn't mean your life is perfect, but it means something. It means you've come to find peace with who you are, where you are, and how far you've come, while still looking forward with hope for what is yet to come. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed the session and you've got something you can put in your belt and take away. Thank you, David. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. PK. We are so much impressed with your presentation this evening on this important topic, the strategies that can help us to live a fulfilling life. And you've taken us through the 10 stages that one needs to be careful about if you want to live a fulfilled life. You're speaking to us today from Ghana. You are here with us. Privileged to have you. I'm still looking forward to meet with you if time will permit us. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the presentation for this evening, and I believe that we all have learned a lot from this presentation. Prof. PK is always on point, giving us knowledge or wisdom into how we can live life that will help us or position us in the society to do what is right. So you are here with us on the David Ddouglas. This is our weekly leadership series. We come to you every Sunday between the hours of 7 p.m. GMT, 8 p.m. UK, 2 p.m. CST, and 3 p.m. EST. We bring to you speakers globally that lead us on various topics that pertain to personal development.
David, are you frozen out?
It looks like David's frozen out. So
that's right, but I can see Ddouglas' hand. Maybe
okay, I will let you speak. I was going to take over from David, but
fine. That's very kind. Yeah.
That's Enoch, please. You've raised your hands, please. Have we allowed you to us to unmute?
Can you unmute yourself, Enoch?
David, can you Enoch, can you unmute? Enoch, can you unmute? Do I have the permission not to unmute you? Okay. I'll make you co-host. I'm making you a co-host to you can mute. Try muting now. Enoch.
Enoch, if you can hear, unmute yourself.
Okay. In the meantime, whilst we are waiting, Prof. PK, thank you very much again for your excellent presentation. Actions that enable us to achieve fulfillment in your personal life. I see some parallels in your stories and my story. In terms of me becoming, a space engineer, rocket scientist, and all the rest of it, because I was also going down the medical profession. Both my parents were in the medical field, and hence it. And I really like biology. I was very good at it as well. I even taught SRN student nurses at 37 Military Hospital, human anatomy, physiology, and English language back in the 80s. So yeah, I was pretty good and was gonna go down that route, and then decided for certain personal reasons that I was going to become an engineer, and have become an engineer. One of the anecdotes that you said was about perfection, and I totally agree with you. Sometimes um, Dave, Enoch, we will get back to you in a second. Okay. Um, one of the things that, as I said, with excellence, with perfection, was I tended to be a perfectionist and wanted to get everything 100% every time. And at some point in your career, you realize uh, perfection is unachievable on any given day. And therefore, what I then strove to do was excellence. And excellence, by my definition, and I still live by it, is the best you can do on any given day at any point in time. And that way, your excellence from today might be better. My excellence for tomorrow might be better than your excellence for today. And it's approaching asymptotic um, uh, to perfection, but it's never achieving the perfection. It's always slightly approaching there and getting slightly better and better. So you're building on your failures, your missing aspects of things, and improving, learning from either mistakes, or even learning from what you did better, how to do it better. The other thing that you were talking about, which I really what we call it, is planning. And planning, and you gave your examples of, planning. I mean, you stated the old adage, failing to plan is planning to fail. We have to plan, and then on top of that, you mentioned how certain contingencies came in when you were asking for, or the scenario of the bank asking for 7%. These are contingencies that you should, as a practiced person, as you get more experience, know what the implications of certain decisions are, and you can make contingencies for them. What I call what if scenarios, and then those what if scenarios become more part of your raison d'etre, and you can improve on a daily basis. So I'll leave it there and see whether we can have Enoch Dogbe. Are you with us? Can we hear you? You should be able to unmute.
Yes, Enoch is still on. Enoch,
Enoch,
can you
you are in.
unmute yourself? Yeah, he's unmute himself. Good.
Can we hear you?
Let's hear you,
Yeah,
Enoch.
hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, we can hear you. So please carry on with your question or your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the powerful presentation. I think it has really enlightened me. But then I have a little question that I want to ask.
Okay.
With regard to pursuing your calling or your goal, and in the case where you don't have the tools or the items necessary for you to be able to go about your passion, how can you go about it? In the context of you being a student, where maybe you need some learning tools to follow this your passion, and then you don't have the tools that you need, the materials. So how do you go about it to pursue this your passion?
Yeah, here, when I say follow your passion, I'm not talking about a profession. You like banking, so you want to set up a bank, or you like building airplanes, so you want to set up a company to build it. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that your passion, like, footballing and so on, you are so busy. Alf is a scientist. He deals with space scientists and so on. And he can be so busy doing the calculus that he doesn't even find time to listen to music. So when I say passion, I'm talking of those interesting little things that you should also do in order to bring your stress down. So that's what I mean by passion. I love music. I'm a very busy person, but I find time to relax, to play music. That's what I mean by passion. So I'm not talking about anything that costs money, but some of the things you love. Maybe you love to read, you love to visit gardens and so on. Put them into your busy schedule. Reduce the busy time and put these interesting little enjoyable passions in. That's what I mean. Not anything that costs money.
All right. Thank you very much, Prof.
Okay, David, excellent.
Yeah. David is back. Yeah, Alf has been holding the fort, which has been good. David.
Yes. I came back, but I was listening because he's already there. So
that's fine.
Started to follow, and that is great of you. I'll even allow that to continue. Well, I was just saying that in Ghana, when you hear shouting, it's just two things, Either your lights are out or maybe they are playing a football match. So you can determine it. I believe some of you heard the shout, hey, and so my background went dark. Anyway, Prof, so that's a wonderful presentation. I have only one question that I want to ask you. Talk about negative thoughts and then living with people with negativity. People who never see anything productive in anything, anything you tell them or you ask them for advice, and the advice is, critically, they're not seeing the positive side of it, and so it's all about negative. And having these people around you, some of them are people you look up to, and some of them may be your colleagues, and some of them may be people below you who do not basically believe in themselves, and confidence level is low, which perhaps might come out from the environment where they grow or how they see things and their pattern of thinking and stuff like that. If you have these people around you, how will you, or what are the methods, or what are the means by which you can help them come out of this circle of thinking? What can you do to help them to change the way they think and the way they see themselves to become the better person of their version?
David, there are some people like that. And if, of course, if you are looking for people who should mentor you or people who will become bouncing board for your ideas, then of course you don't use such people, because they will always say it will not work. A typical example in the book that I've written, the case is the case of Strive Masiyiwa. Strive Masiyiwa is worth $4.5 billion US, one of the richest Africans, and from Zimbabwe. And when he decided that there must be a mobile phone company in Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe national company like PNT that we used to have said, no, mobile telephone, it can't work. Zimbabwe, nobody wants it. But landlines, there are only 2 for 1,000 people, because you have to put lines everywhere. But mobile telephony transmitters, then we can actually get our people, to be able to have telephone. No, it won't work. And in fact, when he went to the bank, said he was going to set up one, went to the bank said, no, we can't give you money for this. This thing will not work. Why are you coming to take money? They shut it down. The guy didn't give up. He decided that he will sell family treasures and so forth and so on to set it up. Then Mugabe, president, came and said, what? How can a private person set up a telephone company in Zimbabwe? It will be over my dead body. Allow a private person. I control Zimbabwe. The state monopoly is state, so I control it. A private man owning a mobile phone company? No, over my dead body. He had to go to court, and it took 18 months. He didn't give up. So there are some people you should never use as your mentors. But if you've got people like that you want to change, you think they are, bottled up in this and it's destroying them, so you want to have them change, then it boils down to mentoring and training. Have conversations with them. Show them positive things. Show them examples of Masiyiwa and others who persisted, and now he's worth $4.5 billion. It's one of the richest Africans, because he persisted. Zuckerberg and others, they failed several times before eventually Thomas Edison, light bulb, understand he failed 1,000 times. Use these as illustrations for these people. Let them know that negativity doesn't help, and that having a positive mind can actually help and illustrate it. So it's training, is mentoring, and you can get them to see by illustrations and examples, real world examples. You'll be able to change them to see.
Thank you very much, Prof. So I
Pleasure.
have seen Alf. You wanted to contribute, but you lowered your hand. You still want to go ahead?
Well, it was a quick one just to enhance what Prof. PK said. Um, uh, you're always going to meet people like that. There's not a lot you can do about it. I can give a personal example where I was talking to NASA on behalf of ESA, the European Space Agency, and they said, what you're talking about cannot be done. And I said to them, look, I'm the only native English speaker in the room. I wrote the process, I defined the process, and I have used the process by going with the Russians, Roscosmos, to fly experiments and payloads to space, to the International Space Station. And the Russians will not fly any payload to space without using my process. So you can either leave it, take it, or I'm not bothered. You can plagiarize it if you want. I'm not copywriting it. You can use the process or you can't use the. Oh, really? Yep. And I've been using it for the last 3 years. So it's not like it's an unestablished thing. So sometimes you have to prove the point of what you're making and know what you're doing, because it's the implementation that's possibly the problem, because the ideas might be fine, but it's never been done before. And this is new, and this is a new way of thinking, and we can't do this in Ghana. Why can't we do it in Ghana? And well, this is how we do things. Yeah, but we can change how we do. But that's going to take. We've been there, done that. I'm working on processes at the moment in changing the mindsets of Ghanaians on how we do things. And I'm not bothered. We will succeed. PK knows we will succeed. We will change the mindset and we will improve Ghana. And we will, when one thought, for instance, in Ghana now, there's no point in leaving Ghana and earning foreign exchange, because the foreign exchange has come so far down. If you're earning $2,000 or you're earning 2,000 cedis, you're probably better off earning the 2,000 cedis, because you get taxed less in Ghana, and you can, you can go under the palm tree in the evening and have good time with your friends, as opposed to freezing your butt in the cold in New York or California or wherever it is. So there are things that can change that you can least expect, but don't take negative. Just shows you what you can do that people don't understand on your level of thinking. So you can actually you have to change their minds, or they stop, they get off the boat. Sometimes it's that simple, but the easiest way is to show them, do the analysis, show them how this can work, show them how you can implement it, show them this and that. And if they're still not on board, well, fine, then you have to, take the flight by yourself or with the people that are willing to go with you. It's that simple. So that would be my advice.
Thank you very much. I know we have a lot of leaders here with us this evening listening. Most of the people that connect with us in leadership, some of them, I know we go through these very things that we are discussing. Myself, I had experience of that even last week. I'm careful to share this thing on this platform, but it's a problem even in our public sector. We have a program coming up with the Agri Arts Festival and Global Leadership Award. One of our organizing partners from South Africa visited, because he said he's coming in with some chiefs and some delegations, and want to know what arrangement do we have with the ministries and stuff like that, just to authenticate what we're doing. We've been to all the ministries except one ministry where we got through, and that ministry is being headed by a woman, which fall directly, the program we're doing fall directly under this ministry. And unfortunately, having this international partner with us, saying she doesn't know anything about this event, we were all amazed. And even her own director was like, they brought a letter to us of which you have directed to the deputy minister to look at. He said, okay, I didn't know about that. Oh, is that what you're talking about? And so in the presence of the our foreign partner, yes.
David, may I stop you there? The example is too sensitive and too current. I believe it's not appropriate for this forum.
Anyway, so just talking about the negativity and stuff like that. Sometimes people may want to talk you down, but you just have to be strong. What I was sharing, I was broken at the time, but I came back to myself because it was just not a good moment for you to have somebody traveling all the way, buying the ticket, staying in a hotel. And at that particular point, that information just have to come out and things like that. So sometimes things may hit you, people may try to, the negative things around, but we have to encourage ourselves. And if I have to take it into the Bible, David was saying, the Bible says that they got to a point that, even the people around David tried to pull off and nobody believed in his leadership anymore. But the Bible said that David encouraged himself
in the Lord. Yes.
So yeah, this is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes there will be negativities around you. There is nobody to look up to as a leader and stuff like that. What you have to guide yourself with is the Bible, and the Bible is there. There are a series of instances in the Bible that can help us to restore us or to encourage us to move ahead with what we are doing and stuff like that. Well, so we want to be thankful to Prof. PK tonight. It has been an interesting topic. In fact, I've taken a lot of note from it, and just as I was sharing, I know the path that we are treading on is not an easy path, and most of the things that we're trying to do as an organization, and some people, if you have to talk about the things you are doing, they don't see how that thing can happen. But you have to prove them wrong, as Alf said, and as Prof also has encourages us. So I don't know what your vision is. I don't know what you are carrying, and I don't know what your dreams are. I don't know the environment where you find yourself, the kind of people you are talking to, or the kind of people advising you. But what I can encourage you tonight, where I sit, is that the vision is with you, and the Bible said the vision is for an appointed time, and when the right time comes, it will speak. It is how you communicate the vision, it is how you speak the vision, and it is how you deliver the vision for people who are following you. That is how they can understand the vision and be there for you. And so whatever you're going through, whatever you have, and whatever you want to achieve, it all depends on you as to how you present it to the world. And that is how the world can receive it. So we thank you all for your time, for being here with us. This is where we will end tonight's session. But before we end tonight's session, we still want to talk about our upcoming event, which is the Agri-Tour Art Festival and Global Leadership Award. This event will be taking place at the Accra International Conference Center from the 30th of July to the 1st of July. There are other activities to this event. The 30th to 31st will be the Agri-Tour, where we are expecting global leaders to be part of us. We've been sharing information on our social media platform. So if you follow us at www.ddlf.com, you'll get to know more of the information about this event. We have an award aspect to it, and that award aspect is to encourage people who are doing very well in terms of leadership, in terms of agri, and in terms of creative at. On the 29th of July, we will have the Hollywood fraternity being here with us, and we keep talking about the movie they coming to premiere here in Ghana, and so you tick your calendar for that. It will be premiered at the Silverbird Cinema at the Accra Mall. The same will happen in Kumasi, and we will give you the date for Kumasi, because when we go on the tour, we'll be spending a day in Kumasi. If you want to register for this event for the nationals, if you want to only participate in the Global Leadership Award, it is 1,000 cedis. You can go to our website, www.ddlforum.com. The registration links are there. If you want to go for all the packages, which has to do with the Agri Tour, has to do with the Global Leadership Award and the tour, that is 7,500, and that includes your food, your hotel, and everything that we will be taking care of. We will be putting tickets in Vantage Point, and very soon we'll be announcing them on the radio and the TV stations. When that is done, we will let you know about it. But in the meantime, we are using this medium to reach out to you and to let you know this event is taking place in the month of July to August, and you begin making your budget toward it. Next week, we will be here the same time, and our speaker for next week will be Mrs. Claudette Anderson from the USA, and she will be speaking on the topic delivering out of the ordinary customer service results. Delivering out of the ordinary customer service results. Madam Claudette will be here with us next week, and I want you to make time to join us. Until then, we want to say thank you all. Prof, yes, go ahead.
David, my buddy, Kwesi my son. Kwesi, thanks for coming.
Oh, okay.
Right, David, carry on.
Does he want to say something?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. All right. So yes, we acknowledge your presence. Thank you for making time to be here with us. This is the David Ddouglas Leadership Forum, and it's a leadership platform. Over here, we meet every Sunday where we talk about personal development. Our youth join us every Sunday, and we engage with them. So we will be happy if you can make time to join us next week. It's going to be the same time. Okay. Thank you all for your time. If you are in Ghana, I will say good evening to you. In the USA, I'll say good afternoon. And in the UK, good evening. Depending on your geographical location, we say thank you for your time.
Bye-bye,
join us
everybody.
next week,
Bye-bye.
same time.
Coming to listen to me. Bye-bye. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good afternoon.
Bye-bye, Prof.
Bye.
Yes. Thank you all for your time.